What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday to all the fathers out there. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. We're in our last week of this 30 and 30 series of mental models. We're on day 27. Throughout this series, I have read multiple psychological studies. One of the most interesting, most cited, and devious came from Dr. Robert Rosenthal. I mean, look at that face, the devious little guy. The study has to do with a self-fulfilling prophecy that is frequently manifested in our society today, termed the Pygmalion Effect. Understanding its implications are important to equitable management in the workplace, improving how we treat others for the better, and in certain cases, checking unconscious bias at the door. Let's get into the study. In 1965, Rosenthal, a Harvard psychologist at the time, and Lenore Jacobson, a California elementary school principal, embarked on the full-year study. Before the study started, students were given a form of an IQ test. Subsequently, teachers were told that 20% of those students were deemed as being high potential learners. Really, those students were chosen at random, and the students never knew where they placed on the test. At the end of the year, all students retook the IQ test. Interestingly enough, while all students saw improvement, those 20% of students that were deemed high potential learners saw significantly greater improvement on the IQ test. So the kids actually got smarter when the teachers had higher, loftier expectations of their potential. Why was this the case? Rosenthal thought that it was due to four main reasons acted upon by the teachers for which the self-fulfilling prophecy played out. And this can be applied well beyond the classroom. People managers, speaking to you here. First is climate. The teachers provided a warmer environment for those students they deemed to have higher potential, both in the things they said and nonverbal cues. They provided a greater sense of positivity. The second factor is input. Teachers taught more material to those that they had higher expectations for. The students that were not perceived to be as high potential did not receive as much attention. Third is the response opportunity factor. The kids that were deemed as being high potential were called on more often, and when they were called on, they were allowed to speak for longer, and the teachers helped shape their answers. Fourth and last is feedback, not just in the form of positive reinforcement, but when constructive feedback was given, it was more diversified. This is because the teacher wants to work harder to ensure that the student reached their artificially created potential. So in essence, this study showed that the teacher's expectations of others had an impact on their own thoughts, feelings, and behavior, in turn affecting their ability. But this applies beyond the classroom, doesn't it? Our reality can often be negotiable and manipulated by others, either on purpose or by accident in the form of assumptions and biases. Our beliefs for ourselves set the foundation for the way we act towards others. Our actions then inform others' beliefs about themselves, in turn causing them to act in ways consistent with those beliefs towards us, which reinforces our own beliefs. I think this all comes back to those preconceived notions we have for one another, those subtle, unconscious biases that manifest themselves, especially non-verbally. And while we are not fully aware, those cues can play a part in others' self-belief, and at times confirming our own self-belief system. So this Pygmalion Effect cycle can both stimulate and reinforce potential. It's largely a matter of how we decide to treat one another. That's all I got for today. See you tomorrow. Only 3 left to go.